People and money have been pouring into Oxford in recent weeks, giving the city's economy a big home run.
I'm Mike Stedham. Tonight in the Weather Center for John Holder, we could have a few more storms and maybe even some sunshine peeking through the next day or two.
One local high school has a couple of new coaches on their staff. We'll tell you about that coming up in sports. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Good evening, and thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News for Thursday, May 18th, 2023. I'm Katie Edwards. If you've driven south of the Oxford Exchange on the Leon Smith Parkway recently, you may have noticed lots of cars and trucks going into and out of Choccolocco Park. All that traffic is a reminder of the park's impact on the city's budget, which keeps getting bigger every year. Oxford Public Relations Officer Lori Denton says the most recent event was the state high school baseball and softball tournament.
One more layer of what we already have with Gulf South Conference baseball and softball, Ohio Valley Conference softball. We just wrapped up the Alabama Community College baseball tournament. Next week we'll have the NJCAA World Series here. So that is expected to bring a little over 80,000 people through the gates here at Choccolocco Park during the month of May.
Denton says each car that comes in from another part of the state means more money for Oxford merchants, who in turn contribute more money in city taxes.
So these people are staying in our hotels, they're eating in our restaurants, they're shopping in our stores, they're getting gas at our gas stations, and that tax revenue goes back into our base to be able to continue to expand the region. It's a great thing for our area.
And Denton says the city wouldn't have success each May if it weren't for the Choccolocco Park crew, which is made up of permanent city employees as well as seasonal workers.
Most of the park workers that are going to work the morning shift, they're here by 6 a.m. We have to have two shifts during the day, except for some of the more fortunate ones who are here all the time to try to make sure that everything goes smoothly. But for example, we had a rain delay Monday night, and it was after midnight before we were able to go home. However, we made sure that the kids were able to get their game in, because at the end of the day, that's what a park like this is for. It's to provide opportunities for our region, for our students, for our kids, for their families to be able to do what they love and be able to do it in the best place possible.
When we return, we'll tell you about the big finale planned for Law Enforcement Appreciation Week in Calhoun County.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Law Enforcement Appreciation Week is drawing to a close after daily programs designed to educate the public about the work of police officers, deputies, marshals, and others who walk the blue line. This week comes to a close Friday morning at 11 with a memorial ceremony to be held at Centennial Memorial Park in Anniston. That park is at the intersection of 17th Street and Quintard Avenue. Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall is scheduled to be the keynote speaker for the program that honors those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. Piedmont Police Chief Nathan Johnson says his department takes special pride in the activities planned for this annual celebration.
All of our officers always look forward to this week because we always see a ton of support that pours out from the communities and the surrounding agencies. We do a selfless job, and it's always good to see that level of support and the thanks. We don't necessarily work for the thanks, but it's always good to hear. It really motivates the officers to feel and know that they're supported within our own communities.
Well, John Holder is off tonight and Mike Stedham is taking his place in the EAN Weather Center. Mike, what can we expect for the next few days?
Well, Katie, we can expect more of the same. We'll have more of the weather after these messages.
If you've been thinking about a new shed, garage, or metal carport, now is the time to act. Steel prices are rising in 2023 and will continue rising into the next year. Waldrop Manufacturing still has current price stock but is expected to run out as early as June. So call out Waldrop Manufacturing today. The supply is on a first-come, first-served basis. Waldrop Manufacturing, this area's most trusted, reliable steel manufacturer.
Okay, so let's take a look at our forecast. As you can tell, it's been about a little bit cooler than average. The rainfall that we've had the last few days has kept the temperatures down almost 10 degrees below the averages, but our morning lows have been slightly above average. Sunrise, sunset times, you can tell, as our days continue to get a little bit longer as we're heading for the summer solstice towards the middle part of June. Our record, no chance of that being broken anytime soon, either the high or the low. That's our almanac, and now let's look ahead at the next couple of days. Tonight, we're expecting some fog to form later tonight. That's after the storms have passed us. A low around 63 degrees, about the same as what we had early this morning. We're going to take you out to Valley Cub Drive in Alexandria, where you can enjoy the nice cooler temperatures. If you have a covered porch, that kind of thing, you're probably going to want to have something over your head just in case we have one of these showers that we've been having in the evenings. For tomorrow, 75 degrees, about the same as today. We have, again, a chance of more storms, and we're going to take you to one of the oldest residential streets in Anniston, Woodstock Avenue. In fact, there was a Woodstock before there was an Anniston. In fact, the people who founded Anniston, some of them were called Woodstockers because they were here before the city was even incorporated. So we'll have a mixture of sun and a chance of an afternoon shower and a high around 75 degrees. During the weekend, we're going to be looking at highs in the upper 70s, which makes it a little bit cooler and drier. We're going to take you down to Perryman Bridge Road in Heflin. That's one of the roads that goes over I-20. So when you're heading towards Atlanta, you will see the Perryman Bridge Road. You'll go right under it, in fact, as you're there on I-20. As far as the next 7 days, we look ahead and we notice that the temperatures start creeping back up into the high 70s, the low 80s. We have a chance, just a chance, on Friday and maybe Sunday of a couple of rain-free days. That'll be kind of a nice little change coming in here. And also our low temperatures staying in the low 60s and even maybe a couple of upper 50s as we get towards the beginning of the next week. And now we're going to turn it over to Chase Robinson, who's going to tell us about some brand new coaches in Jacksonville.
Thanks, Mike. The Jacksonville City Schools Board of Education voted last night in favor of Amber Russell taking over the Golden Eagles Volleyball program. Russell is taking over for David Clark, who held the position for the last 30 years. Russell has been an assistant under Coach Clark at Jacksonville, and she knows that experience will help her in this new role.
Growing up around this, I know the program. I know the way that he did everything. You know, he taught me how to coach. So basically, I'm just stepping in, and I've got the same fundamental skills sets that he has, the same program ideas that he had. So it's going to be a very easy transition, I hope. A lot of the kids I have coached, there's about 3 or 4 that I only had 1 year, and some of them I didn't have at all. They completely skipped over me from junior high straight to varsity last year. We had graduated a lot prior to last year, and so they completely skipped me. And so some of them, that'll be new for me, but being around them as an assistant coach, I kind of got the feel of how they work.
Russell will be taking over a program with some experience and will have lots of talent as they take the court in the fall.
We were pretty young last year. But this year, this group, they've worked very, very hard. They're learning to play as a team, and we have some older kids coming back that'll be helping with that to mesh that younger group. They're finally learning how to play together. There's a lot of promise from that young group. We have a big 9th grade group and a big 10th grade group. So we're hoping that experience that they received last year under Coach Clark will help because they just got thrown into that varsity as a 9th grader, and that's a large undertaking as a 9th grader to be playing a bunch of 17 and 18-year-olds. So a lot of them just turned 14. So they're going to have a year experience with Coach Clark. Plus, they a lot of our kids play club ball and things like that. So they've been playing volleyball for a while. So it's going to be help. They'll have a little bit more experience. We made it to regionals, which is a big feat in itself. If you can get to regionals and you can be there, you can see that environment. So we're hoping we can make it back to state.
Another coaching move last night was also approved by Jacksonville City Schools Board of Education, the hiring of Weaver head football and softball coach Gary Ashley. Ashley will serve as an assistant under Clint Smith for the football team and will likely have other coaching duties for the Golden Eagles. Ashley has spent the last 13 years coaching at Weaver. He served on the football staff under Darryl Hamby until 2018, and Ashley was the head coach beginning in 2021. Ashley also served as the head softball coach for 10 years and was the girls basketball coach. The Oxford Yellow Jackets were up today in the state softball tournament at Choccolocco Park. We'll take a look at how the Yellow Jackets did. They dropped game 1 this morning to Wetumpka 2-1. That dropped them down to the elimination bracket. Next up, they had Helena. Oxford pulled that one out 6-3 to eliminate Helena. Oxford will have the loser of Spanish Fort and Athens later this afternoon in another elimination game. That's it for sports. Katie, let's head back over to you.
Before we end tonight's newscast, as a reminder to the citizens of Anniston, the next free disposal day weekend will be this Friday and Saturday, May 19th and 20th, from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. both days. Roll-off dumpsters will be located at the following locations, and you may dispose of your items free of charge. Ward 1, Pelham Park parking lot. Ward 2 will be located at Carver Center parking lot. Ward 3 at the South Highland Center parking lot, and Ward 4 at Norwood Hodges Center parking lot. Thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News. Keep checking back with us every Monday through Friday around 6:30 in the evening on either Facebook or YouTube for a recap of what's been happening in your community. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a comment while you're there. We'll see you Friday for your news on your schedule.